I have read every single character's lore in Marvel Rivals, and in this video I am going to share the story of what the time stream entanglement has done, where every character is from, and why they are fighting. If you want to know the itty-gritty details of every single character, I will be making a very long video about that in the near future. For now, let's just get into the basic recap. So first, from Mr. Fantastic's story, we learn a lot of basic information about the time stream entanglement, because he has an intergalactic Zoom call with Shuri, which is T'Challa's sister. The two Brainiacs have been doing research on Chronovium and the Chronoverse, and they basically just uncovered that the time stream entanglement has brought segments of various universes together and used them as puzzle pieces to form this new universe. Shuri, and also Doom, calls each separate puzzle piece a Chronoverse, and so far I have narrowed it down to 5 main Chronoverses in the story. The first one is the Eternal Night Chronoverse. This is where New York City comes from, and it's where Season 1 of Marvel Rivals is located. It's where Doctor Strange, Moon Knight, Iron Man, the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Squirrel Girl, Cloak and Dagger, maybe the Hulk, and a few others are from. In this Chronoverse, Dr. Doom and Dracula are the main villains, and Doom is using Dracula and the Eternal Night as a distraction play for whatever evil plan he has coming next. Dracula caused Eternal Night and wants the Darkhold pages so that Eternal Night and the vampires will be around forever. The heroes are trying to work together to stop this, but they are split on which problem they should manage first. Reed Richards and the other members of the Fantastic Four think solving the time stream entanglement is the first priority, and he, along with Iron Man, invented the time stream reintegration device. However, Iron Man doesn't want to use this device without knowing it will work, and so they are waiting and waiting to use it. Meanwhile, Moonlight comes along and talks to Tony Stark about how the vampires are causing tons of trouble for civilians, and getting rid of Dracula will allow them to more easily focus on the bigger picture. But Moon Knight's proposed solution comes at a cost. He plans on getting the Darkhold before Dracula does, so that he can use a spell that Khonshu told him about that will destroy all vampires, including any civilians that have been turned since Eternal Night started. So, about half the superheroes agree with Moon Knight and Iron Man about destroying the vampires, even if they do risk a lot of civilian casualties, and the other half agree with the Fantastic Four that the time stream entanglement should be solved first. It is a race between those two groups and Dracula to see who achieves their goals. Next is the 2099 Chronoverse. The 2099 Chronoverse is from the year 2099, obviously, and it's mainly set in Japan and other regions around that location. Characters from the Chronoverse are Black Widow, Captain America, the Punisher, Penny Parker, Doom 2099, obviously, and Luna Snow. The major villains are Alchemax and the Public Eye, a brutal surveillance police force, and of course, Doom 2099. The main problem happening in this Chronoverse is that the web of life and destiny is holding reality together, and Doom does not want this. He doesn't want his work to be reversed. So, Spider-Zero, the Master Weaver, and Penny Parker are trying to defend the web of destiny for now. But there are other things going on in this Chronoverse as well. Cool little side stories. A big one is that Wolverine is helping Black Widow break into Alchemax, and Black Widow ends up finding the code name Mercury, which is a elite secret that Alchemax has hidden for a very long time. There, she finds Steve Rogers encapsulated in ice and breaks him out. He never came out of the ice after World War II, but immediately once Natasha and Steve escape, Alchemax, the Public Eye, and Doom all want to get Steve for themselves. So, Steve disappears from Natasha and from the Resistance so that he doesn't put a target on anyone's back. And later, Wolverine finds him, and Wolverine helps Steve retreat into the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, which is our next Chronoverse. This Chronoverse mostly takes place in outer space, and it also includes where Wakanda is on Earth, which is very convenient. In this universe, T'Challa and Shuri and others from Wakanda took Wakanda to the stars. This Chronoverse is home to the Guardians of the Galaxy, T'Challa and Shuri, Venom, and maybe Magic and Adam Warlock. It's kind of tough to say. In this Chronoverse, the pantheon of Wakanda has gone missing, and this is causing a lot of trouble. T'Challa gets an intuition that a great darkness, known as Null, has consumed all of his gods. After learning about the darkness, T'Challa sends the Guardians of the Galaxy out to investigate Clintar, the planet where Null is from. Problems arise for them, of course, Clintar, and they scavenge for ships. Adam Warlock's first chapter shows him going into a cocoon, ancient entities like Bast, who is taken over by Null, and a Celestial, which he then lands on. Venom also lands on the Celestial from a portal through magic. Also, Mantis was taken by the Collector, where she met Jeff the Shark and Psylocke, and all three of them come from very different places. And I guess what I'm saying is a lot happens in every single Chronoverse. And I will give all the details in a future video, but in this one, I am going to stick to the main story, which is after T'Challa sent the Guardians of the Galaxy to Clintar, a portal opened, Steve Rogers stepped through because he's wanted in his own Chronoverse, and T'Challa asks Captain America to assemble a team of heroes to help fend off various threats from all the Chronoverses, basically Avengers in space. Next up is the Asgard Chronoverse. This Chronoverse features the Asgardians. Loki has taken over Asgard with the help of his sister Hela and the Chronovium of the World Tree, which... Dang it, I forgot about the Chronovium. Okay, when the time stream entanglement happened because of one or both dooms, a material known as Chronovium appeared across all universes and Chronoverses. The Chronovium is essentially time crystals. Many heroes and villains like Reed Richards, Shuri, Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, Hela, Null, and many others are all trying to learn and utilize the power of Chronovium. In addition, each Chronoverse has different variations of Chronovium. The Eternal Night has blood red Chronovium that has like vampire effects. The Chronovium from Asgard is infused with the sap from Yggdrasil, the World Tree. And I don't know exactly what powers that gives. But overall, Chronovium is featured in most stories, but I've just glossed over it for now, as it's mainly just used as an energy source for machines or magic. For example, the time stream reintegration device that Reed Richards built is using Chronovium. Anyway, with help from Hela and Chronovium, Loki sent his brother, Thor, to Midgard and tricked his father into Odin's sleep. Now, Loki is mining the Chronovium to use it for something nefarious. The next Chronoverse is Krakoa. The island of Krakoa came from its own Chronoverse. Krakoa was going to be destroyed, but Storm used her powers to guide the island through the time storm and landed it in the Rivals universe. The characters from this Chronoverse are Magneto, Storm, Wolverine, and maybe Namor. But after landing, Magneto decides he would continue his goal and Charles Xavier's goal of protecting mutant kind. But this time, he plans to be a little bit less evil. Now, he doesn't want to help the humans like Wolverine is, but after hearing about all of Wolverine's tales about saving Captain America, making friends with the Resistance, and making allies with Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, Magneto kind of understands and admits that maybe Wolverine is doing good. Maybe there are allies for them here, and maybe they will need allies if Doom has further plans for the universe that he created. Speaking of Doom, we have already heard the basic lore about how Doom and Doom 99 are responsible for the time stream entanglement, but Doom has appeared in many character stories that I haven't heard others talking of. So here are some of those examples. Before the time stream, Doom approached Stephen Strange in the Sanctum Sanctorum and requested that Stephen hand over the Darkhold so that he can learn about time and how to control it. Strange declined, of course, and fought off Doom. Like, he literally 1v1'd and beat Doom. But Doom swore that he would get what he wants eventually. Doctor Strange then hid the Darkhold in the astral plane where it would be impossible for Doom to find it. But, sadly, Doom was correct, and he did eventually cause the time stream entanglement. In Moon Knight's story, Doom entered Khonshu's personal realm and assaulted both Moon Knight and Khonshu. He demanded that Khonshu hold the moon above New York so that Dracula could cause a bunch of trouble. Khonshu declined, of course, and forced Doom out of his personal realm. Then Khonshu sent Moon Knight to protect New York as he tried to find the Darkhold in the astral plane to prevent the vampires. Doom 99 had his Doombots attack the Web of Life and Destiny in Penny Parker's story. Doom 99 had Doombots attempt to capture Captain America. Overall, The characters of the world know about Victor Von Doom and his nation of Latvia. They know he caused the time stream entanglement, and they know that Latvia and Dr. Doom have only grown in power since the time stream entanglement happened. But so many other problems are happening that all of the heroes need to fight these smaller battles against Loki, Dracula, or Null before they can even figure out what Doom's plan is. While that has been the main story, in my opinion, and the main Chronoverses that are worth talking about, there are plenty of side stories that are worth mentioning. For example, Doctor Strange and Wanda meet each other in the astral plane. They agree to help each other. Wanda also comes from a Chronoverse that is falling apart because the gods are at war with each other. And that might be the Asgardian Chronoverse that I mentioned earlier, but it's very unclear. Luna Snow and Namor have a rivalry. It's unclear where they come from, but Magneto offers Namor to live at Krakoa because Namor is a mutant and Krakoa is home to all mutants, but Namor would rather take control of all land instead of simply living at Krakoa, which is a classic Namor move. Iron Fist is from the Kunlun Mountains. It is unclear if this is part of a different Chronoverse that we've already discussed, or if it's a brand new one. His story is very disconnected, and it only features characters that aren't in the game, are only part of Iron Fist history. And this is completely fine. Iron Fist's story is very great, but I'm unsure what it is leading to and if it will connect to a different story or if it is its own little thing. Hawkeye tries to save Bucky from a Hydra base, but just as they were going to die in the mix of a tentacle monster and fighting Hydra, which is classic Hydra story, a portal to Wakanda opens up and Captain America recruits them to join the Wakandan initiative. Magic, Wolverine, and Wanda all meet in Limbo, and they all decide to put their different goals aside for one moment to help Logan save a child mutant in Limbo. After that teamwork, they all go to Krakoa, where Magneto and Wanda meet up again. And while they are from two separate Chronoverses, it is still a very touching father-daughter moment as both Wanda and Magneto lost the other person in their separate universe. Bruce Banner has been isolated in this one desert working on a gamma belt that will allow him to control the Hulk. And in Classic's Hulk story, you can't control the Hulk, as Hulk figured out that the gamma belt will just fill up with more gamma energy, and he'll just use the gamma belt to get more gamma energy and compound itself. Luckily for Bruce Banner, as the Hulk was trying to destroy Bruce Banner's lab, the belt broke, causing Hulk to transform back into Bruce Banner, where Banner started working on a 2.0 version. This is where Thor lands from the Asgard Chronoverse, but I just didn't know how to fit it into the main story. Overall, the Marvel Rivals universe is a tangled web of stories that are all happening simultaneously. Everyone is fighting for survival and fighting to help others. Some are trying to undo the time stream entanglement. Some are trying to gain power for themselves, assuming a giant chronoversal war will start. And some are just trying to adapt to the new environment they found themselves in. Whatever the story has been so far, and wherever the story goes, I am very excited to experience it. But in the meantime, let's play some Marvel Rivals.